Well, before I let you go, you had been telling me about the studio in Connecticut, Gigantic Studios. And, in this business in Hollywood, everyone always talks and everyone always claims that they're working on the next big thing and so forth. So I actually went out to Connecticut and checked it out.
Yeah.
And it was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? It was a huge studio space, and they were actually filming a Netflix movie in the space already when we showed up.
Yeah.
So you actually have a huge studio. It's not just an idea. It's an actual studio that's right now in your old hometown of Bridgeport, Connecticut, which is dope. I got to actually sit there with all the community, leaders and everything else like that, talking about all the jobs that are coming in.
Yeah, it's a lot of exciting things happening, man, because you just seem just like a small portion.
I bet.
So we're constantly building, and it's a thing where, I mean, the thing that excites me is I'm able to put people to work, put the community to work, the community that gave so much to me growing up. That is just like that's the greatest thing. This industry is really a wonderful industry, and there's so much talent out there. And these kids, I always encourage them. Is like when you're looking at these movies, look at all those credits that go up at the end. Those are jobs. Those are people bringing money to their family. So to be in a position where I've got these internship programs and being in this, I've always been connected still with the school systems and everything. But, being able to bring that back and just having things come full circle is like, it's really kind of a dream come true.
Right. And this is going to be like, if you compare it to Tyler Perry's studio in terms of sheer size, is it similar, bigger, smaller?
Well, the structure of it is a bit bigger.
Really?
Not bigger than his old studio. I mean, nothing's bigger than his place. Well, it'll just be slightly more sound stages. That's all. But yeah, Tyler's got a town. Like you could fit the other major studios in his.
Yeah, I mean, he bought a whole military base.
Oh yeah, but he's got functional houses. It's amazing. What he created was absolutely amazing. Yeah, but he's got that mindset. He's a builder. He's got that whole. I mean, he's had plans for quite some time. So it's not going to be nearly that size. But very much like Tyler, he started out in a space called Krog Street, and I got to know him when he had his first studio, which is smaller than the one I have now. But you see where he's gone from there. So. I've basically got my Krog Street, and I'm building up from there.
I think it's just so dope that you go back into your old neighborhood, and like I have family in Bridgeport, and it is a rough area.
Yeah,
it is a rough area. A lot of drugs, a lot of crime, and just when you drive around there, it's just a lot of boarded up houses, empty warehouses, like that type of thing. It's kind of like. To have this type of opportunity in a place like that by someone who came from there, I think it sets such a goal for kids that are growing up in that area to say, hey, look, here's someone who looks like us, who grew up like us. I know this guy's grandkids and cousins and stuff like that, so they can vouch that this is real. And he came back out of all the places he could have built. He could have gone to Utah or Arizona or whatever else, but he actually came back here and is building this dope studio. And like I said, like walking in and seeing a Netflix production, I'm like, I'm not on a lot of movie sets, so I'm like, yo, this is a real. This is a real movie set. Like this is a big cast. There's tons of, $1 million cameras, and there's all these trucks outside and everything. I'm like, yo, this is some real shit.
Yeah, man.
In a place that that wasn't doing this before.
Yeah, that's just the beginning, bro. But look, man, it was done for me. Somebody came to my high school when I was young, and said something and planted a seed for me. Changed my life. I mean. There's a few things that happened. I don't know if I told you the story about that, but like I was dipped from a gang fight long time ago. I was like probably 14, 15. I was on a bike and I saw this young black couple moving into the house.
This. Yep.
Yeah, that thing. So if not for these certain images, I wouldn't be here, right? So I feel like, I was spared for a reason. So that's part of the thing. So this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, people really underestimate the concept of a role model, right? I mean, look, when I started VladTV, I looked at World Star. I knew Q. I called him up. I had conversations with him. I saw, if you look at VladTV.com, it's structurally similar to how World Star even looks today. You know what I mean? I used it as a model. I saw, hey, here's this guy I knew, who, he's passed away at this point, but, we used to hang out. We went on, he took me on tour, he managed me as a DJ slightly at one point, and, he could do this. Well, if he could do it, I could do it. You know what I mean? And I looked at like, okay, you got the Source, you got Double XL. Okay, I could do something like that. Barack Obama, I feel like black kids and mixed kids could look at him and say, okay, you don't have to be white to be president.
That's true.
They look at Kamala Harris. Okay, you could be second in command and be a woman. Be a black woman at that.
That's what gets on my nerves when people say, "Oh, Obama didn't do enough for black people." I'm like, do you understand the fact that he's been there? Let's just
2 terms.
Yeah, just
unlike Trump, he did 2 terms.
Yeah, but it's like, there's the whole generation of kids that go, "Oh, that's my president." Racism is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, how are they gonna think of white supremacy when you grew up seeing that guy? Black or white, there's going to be a whole different. I mean, these people who grew up with him as their president are running things now. So how is that not significant? And the way this man carried himself, just by itself.
Yeah, no one went to prison around him. He was not impeached twice.
Yeah, just the class and dignity.
He wasn't caught cheating on his wife in the Oval Office like Clinton.
But then look at the image of those 2 people and that family.
Yeah.
You think that that's not significant to the world? And when you see the guy who followed, what that family structure looked like?
Right.
So you like, come on. Like, that's not significant just by even just the optics of it.
Yeah.
And what I mean? So yeah, he changed the world. Continues to change the world. Come on. So it's bigger than is bigger than that petty shit. Yeah, you didn't do nothing for black people. Okay. Yeah.
There you go. Michael Jai White, man. Always a pleasure. And you got some movies coming out.
Yeah.
There's a World War II film that I saw with
Tyrese. And, Dolph Lundgren.
There's a Dolph Lundgren movie coming out. Oh, is that a different film or the same film? The Dolph Lundgren film is the World War II?
Yeah.
Okay,
Dolph's in it as well. Yeah,
I must break you.
We had a
the most famous fake Russian ever.
Right. Yeah, we had a good time doing that. So it's about the 761st Tank Battalion. It's historical.
Dope.
Some of the badass. The first Black Panthers.
Right.
Yes.
They were called the Black Panthers?
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Michael, until next time.
All right.
Peace.